Good morning. As you can see, we're out on the bank. It's the last day of the year, so I'd just like to take this opportunity to wish everybody a happy new year and all the best for 2017. And as we're out on the bank, and one of the questions I get asked quite a bit and recently is about solid bag fishing. And it's something that I've done a lot in the past, solid bag fishing. It's a great method on the right water. Personally, I think it gets you more bites than most other methods, in fact. And when there's not a lot of nuisance fish, roach, bream and tench, it's a great way of catching carp summer or winter. So I've got a little solid bag set up there. As you can see, it's all done, tied onto a short length of lead core. And I'm going to tie one up now, show you some of the ingredients that I use and the rig that I use with it, and hope that'll help you with your solid bag fishing. So the first thing, and probably most important thing that I can stress, is to get everything ready. As you can see, I've got loads of little bits set up here on my bed chair. I've got some solid bag mix, some crumbed up boilies. In this case, this is the Essential Cell. It's the new one from Mainline. It's a lovely yellow colour and it smells lovely. And when it's crumbed up and using the solid bags, it gives a really good visual attraction. And then as well as that, I've got some salmon fry crumb, which is another great additive. You can pack your solid bags with a bit of salmon fry crumb and it can protect the hook point. It's very fine. There's no chance of getting the hook blunted or little bits stuck on the hook point. And then I've got some purpose done spod and PVA pallet mix from Mainline, which is a blend of small sort of 2, 3, 4 mil pallets, if you can see them, and it's a lovely little blend that is. You've got different breakdown times and different attractions, and yeah, a great little addition to any bag mix really. So them are the key basic ingredients. That's the rig. I've got one all set up ready. This is off one of the rods that I've just reeled in. It's a simple inline setup, short length of lead core, small inline lead, 2.5 ounces, and in this case a short hook link about 4 to 5 inches long, and it's soft, uncoated, braided hook link. And that's really important with solid bag fishing. You need to be able to fold that hook link inside the bag and to be able to pack the rest of the bag with your ingredients. You don't want nothing stiff or too rigid inside the bag. It's a little 12mm pop-up. It's a little Essential Cell one, and just a little blowback setup, size 8 hook, and a little bit of putty just to help the braided hook link sink. And that is essentially my solid bag setup, pretty much no different than most other people's. And it's a great way of catching carp, perfect for winter. You know, you can pack them bags full of maximum attraction, and it's a great way of fishing single hook baits if you like, but with a little tight small patch of bait round it to add to that attraction. So I'm going to get on with this, tying it up and show you how we do it. PVA bags come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, and I've used most over the years, some really good ones and some not so good ones. I like the Corda and the Fox ones. The Fox ones come on a tube, it's a rapid system. The Corda ones come in a little bag and they're really good texture. And like I say, you can get loads of different PVA bags. Just have a go and try in different sizes and different shapes. These are the small Corda ones, and I do favour these for long range fishing. When these are packed tight and rock solid, you can cast these well over 100 yards. With the right tackle and the right line and reels and a leader, 130 to 140 yards in the right condition. So that's a real edge for solid bag fishing. Right, without further ado, I'll put a little bit of ingredients in the bottom of the bag. This is a little bit of salmon fry crumb, and I just like to pat it down a little bit. This is just a jag vice, as you can see, and it just helps to pack it down a little bit. And then we're going to add a little bit of the yellow Essential Cell, and you're just creating a little cushion at the bottom for your lead to sit in, and that's plenty. Okay, next job is to just drop the lead in, and it's a little bit fiddly, but with a little bit of practice it can soon be done. There you go. Just pop it down on there. It's easy just to work off something on your knees. Just pat it down, and it's a simple case of just packing the bag with different ingredients. And whatever you've got, it's entirely up to yourselves what you use and at what ratio. A little bit of pallet, a little bit of boilie crumb, a little bit of salmon fry crumb. You can see the boilie crumb there. It makes a lovely yellow fleck, and of course when that breaks down, it's kicking off that really nice visual attraction. So it's adding to that single hoop bait approach, if you like. Maximum attraction, but with minimum of food. Right, let's add a little bit more pallet mix. This pallet mix from Mainline is great because it all comes pre-done for you in the tub. And like I say, you're getting a few different sizes, different breakdowns, and a couple of different smells and different varieties in there. Right, there you go. I'll have a little bit more yellow. And of course you can crumb down any sort of boilie, whatever boilie you use, you know, it doesn't really matter. You can use a fish meal boilie for summer, but for winter I like a little bit of yellow and a little bit of smell. Just adds to that visual attraction. Right, we're about 3/4 way up the bag now, and now's the sort of time to get your hoop bait in and get it in there and make sure it's sort of lying flat and the hook link isn't tangled, and it's a little bit fiddly. I'll show you that again. And that's pretty much how I like to do it. And then the final stage, and possibly the trickiest little bit, is just now packing the top and making sure everything goes down. A little bit more pallet, and then we can use the jag file again, the jag vise, and we can pat it down, making sure that everything gets compressed. The better you can get it compressed, and the harder you can make it, the further they will go. So take a little bit of time with it, there's no mega rush. Top it off with a bit of yellow. Keep pushing it down with your thumb. And really fill them corners. You know, it's surprising, even though these are the small bags, it's surprising how much you can actually get into one of these small bags. There's quite a little bit of bait in there now. And then, at this point, I like to give it a squeeze and kind of shape the bag. The bags are naturally flat in sort of profile, so to make them round so they fly further, I kind of like to squash and squeeze the bag and make it like a fat sausage, really. Push it all down, and then at this point just get a baiting needle, sharp one, and be a bit careful with this. You don't catch your hook link and pull it through. Just give it a pierce, and then you can get that air out. And then simply tap it down and start to spin, making that bag nice and tight. And there you go. That's pretty much rock solid now. We're not quite finished. A couple of little things we need to tie off the top. Now some people lick and stick. I do a little bit of both. I tie off with some PVA tape. I like to use a thick tape, something about 10mm. And I go 1, 2, twice around each side, and tie off with a couple of little overhand knots. There you go. See how important it is to have everything at hand You know, the last thing you want to be doing, especially if you're doing this at night recasting, is looking for scissors or bits and bobs. I've made this one a little bit smaller than I could have done. I could have packed a little bit more bait in that one. And then if you just trim off the top access PVA, careful not to cut through your lead core at this point. I think we've all done it. I certainly have. And then you can wet your fingers, carefully grab it, and just give it a twist. And if you hold it in position for a few seconds, it'll hold. You might have to do it a couple of times, but it holds fine. And that's quite a hard bag now. And then to finish off, if you just tap the bottom corners, and of course you're going to lick and stick these, bend it in, hold it down for a couple of seconds. That's one side. Same again the other side. Just give that little top section a little bit of a trim there. And we're pretty much ready to go. And the great thing about solid bag fishing is it's a method that you can take to any water, and it doesn't really matter what the sort of bottom's like. You know, I've caught on solid bags a few years ago when I used to fish places like Horseshoe Lake, very, very weedy, and I've cast solid bags into what you consider probably not really fishable terrain, the thick Canadian pondweed, and the bags plummet through the weed, and once it sets on the bottom, the carp will root it out and find it. Right, well there you go. There's my small little winter high attract PVA bag. I'm going to fire this out on the spot now, and you'll see how well they fly. Just give you a couple of little tips on casting bags. Because I'm not fishing at long range, I'm not using a leader, I'm using a 0.35 line straight through. If I was going for maximum range, slightly bigger bag, I'd probably use a leader of some description, shock leader. I like to have a bit of a long drop with these, certainly down to below the spigot. That allows you to fully compress the rod and get the range that you're after. Okay, let's see if we can put it out there. Possibly nearly 100 yards, no problem whatsoever. 15-pound line straight through. Great. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed that. Good luck with your PVA bag fishing.